Good evening. I don't normally post videos, but tonight I want to talk about one important matter. We know that Charlie Kirk wasn't just shot, he was targeted. And the bullet didn't strike his head or his chest. No, it struck his neck. That choice matters. And in my opinion, it tells us something deeper about the real intent behind the attack. While the world speculates on the shooter and his motives, I want to focus on the one question that's been overlooked. Why the choice to shoot the neck? This is my own opinion and theory about why Charlie Kirk was targeted in this way. I don't offer it as fact, but as thoughtful reflection on what that choice truly meant, both medically and symbolically. The human neck is one of the most exposed and fragile parts of the body. In this small space runs the trachea, which is the airway that carries breath, the carotid arteries, and the jugular veins, carrying the very blood that keeps us alive. And there at the very front is the larynx, the voice box. A bullet to the neck is almost always devastating. It can collapse the airway in an instant. It can sever blood vessels and cause death within minutes. It can shatter the ability to swallow or to speak or even breathe without help. It is a target that leaves little chance of survival. So now, most shooters are taught to aim for the chest, center mass. It's the largest, most reliable target. Others aim for the head if they want instant incapacitation. But the neck is different. Smaller, harder to hit, yet more symbolic than either the chest or the head. Because a chest wound takes a life. A head wound takes a mind. But a throat wound takes a voice. The larynx is more than just tissue and cartilage. It is an instrument of speech. It's where breath is turned into words. It's a place where sound becomes influence, where voice becomes message. By aiming at the larynx, the shooter wasn't just trying to kill Charlie Kirk's body. He was trying to silence Charlie Kirk's voice. The voice was the true target because the voice was the power. Even though the bullet missed the larynx directly, the intent is clear. The goal was to stop the very thing that gave Charlie his platform, his words, his ability to speak truth, to challenge, to lead. And that is what was under the attack. And that is what turns this act from mere violence into a statement. It wasn't just ending a man's life. It was about erasing his influence. It was about silencing his words. History has seen this tactic before. Tyrants have always sought to silence the voices they fear. They burned books, they banned pulpits, and they outlaw speech. And in this case, the shot was aimed at the very organ of speech itself, the larynx, the voice box. This was not just an attack on a person. It was an attack on a message. But here's the greater truth. You can strike a body. You can even stop a breath. But you cannot silence a voice spoken in truth. Time and again, history shows us that the attempt to silence often makes the voice louder. A martyr's words do not die, they echo. And what was meant to end a voice often spreads it farther than it ever would have gone on its own. So yes, the next shot was aimed to silence, but the result will be the opposite. The very attempt to silence Charlie Kirk's voice has only given his message more weight, more reach, and more power. So that is my opinion. The shooter chose the neck not only because it's medically vulnerable, but because it is symbolically powerful. To strike the larynx was to strike the voice. To silence not just a man, but his message. Yet in the end, truth cannot be silenced. A voice may fall quiet, but its echo will outlive the bullet.